it's the Randy Duck and welcome back for another video, and today I've got 3 replays to show you in a tier 8 German premium tank destroyer, the Kanonenjagdpanzer, which is the level 100 season pass reward for the new season pass which was released on Tuesday. So you can earn this tank for free once you get to level 100 and complete that season. So what is this tank? Well, I've got 3 replays today to show it off and show you what this tank does. But if you've ever played the E75, the recent tier contract tank, the tier 7 premium tank, it's a similar type of tank to that, but at tier 8. Essentially, you're a very stealthy tank destroyer. In the build I run on this tank, which you will see at the bottom of the screen shortly, I've got the concealment down to 186. So you're very, very stealthy. You've then got a rapid fire gun. You've got 240 alpha per shot, but a very quick reload of about sort of 3.7 seconds, which puts your DPM in this build to 3,797. So essentially you're a stealthy tank destroyer with no armour, but a rapid rate of fire and a fantastic DPM. So in the right situations, when you catch someone out, you can do a lot of damage in a short space of time. But we are here for the first replay here on Severogorsk. Not a map I particularly enjoy, but we've come to an aggressive position early because we've used our fantastic mobility this tank has of 70 kilometers an hour to get into a good position and spot the cross. And if you can see this poor T-29, we managed to catch out there, actually track him in place, and you can see how quickly we get some damage off. So for map, I wouldn't say this map is particularly good for this tank, but we do get off to a good start, picking up a kill just shy of about 800 damage and 400 assistance. So decent start, but I don't want to overstay my welcome in this position. I've got the early punish. I don't think anything else is crossing. There is tanks which have already crossed, and I don't want to run the risk of them pushing me, artillery starting to focus me. And I thought, let's just try and get some damage elsewhere now. And you can see quite a few of the enemy tanks have actually also pushed down the 890 line. So I'm going to go and try and turn my attention over there to see if we can get any damage in that position. And as you can see, it is a very quick tank, so you can you swap between positions very well because you've got that top speed of 70 kilometers an hour, which you can get to pretty quickly in this tank. And what I probably forgot to say, the shell velocity on the standard rounds, where you've got 245 penetration on your APCR rounds, you have very good shell velocity of 1,478. So you really can hit those shots quite nicely without much lead. On your premium rounds, you have 275 penetration on your heat rounds with a slower shell velocity, but still decent for heat, of 1,145. So we get into this position here, and we're going to try and get some shots on this Iron Rain. But as you can see, we're quite close to these targets. We're getting spotted for it. And the enemy fun police, which there is 2 of in this game, is starting to look at us. And yeah, we're getting a little bit scared. But we want to try and get some damage in these tanks. And I'm kind of playing this tank very aggressively in this particular replay. I wouldn't say this is really how you should play it, because I am being very aggressive. But I want to try and kill these tanks as quickly as I can, and they're not really going to... I'm going to get impatient just waiting, and I am quite an impatient gamer, so I want to just try and get into damage. And even though this is not the brew I would like, I'm going to force the issue to kill these tanks, because we do have another angle or a medium tank below. We've got this object 416. I don't particularly want us to stay in front of him. I'm going to try and get another shot in, but you can see the enemy fun police here. I'm getting the RT detector symbol going, and it looks like the artillery is trying to shoot at us. So I'm going to try and relocate. I don't want to stay stationary and give them an easy shot, because this game is still pretty close. We have almost lost a 1-2 line, so I want to kill these tanks as quickly as I can, and then I can make a decision if I want to push the enemy artillery or if I want to retreat to defend my base. So we do kill the deadly enemy Iron Rain there, which is good. He was in an awkward position, having to fight the medium tanker. Did a good job flanking to come behind, because that means you turn the enemy guns and you can take them out easy. You can see at the start I was looking to go and finish off the fun police who was looking at me earlier, but I decided we've now lost a 1-2. I don't want to risk getting capped out, and I also have got my suspicions that that's where a lot of the damage is, because I know tanks did push across 1-2. They've obviously won that line. Don't know how many hit points there are, but I know there was at least sort of 2 tanks over there, so I'm going to pull back and try and cover the base. If they push out towards our base, I'm going to get into a good position so I can outspot the targets and maybe pick up some assistance from my friendly fun police, or be able to pick up the damage myself, because at the moment I can't say we've done a lot. We've got 2,000 damage, 2 kills, 800 or 700 assistance. Not a brilliant game, but also we couldn't really got much more at this stage. We still have a lot of our hit points. We have a 1,200 hit point start in total, but we're up to about 857 left of that hit point pool now. So we pull in a position here. If any targets poke round, try and get the cap circle, we'll be able to finish them off. But I've seen there's an enemy TD is actually pushed into an area. I'm going to try and work a shot into him because I want to try and get some more damage out of this game. There is a one-shot medium, I believe, but I'm looking to see if I can just find a shot into this other enemy tank destroyer there. Our friendly G-Sword does take out the Panther there. And you can see the enemy fun places, both enemy fun places in this sort of 2 line. And it looks like that's where all the remaining tanks are. So we're just going to try and trade shots for this TD now. I'm actually I don't mind if we eat a shot at this stage. It doesn't really matter. But you can see how quickly we reload, right? And we're able to take out that enemy TD, poor tier 7, without actually eating any damage of our own, picking up our 3rd kill. Put ourselves onto 2,300 damage now. 5 tanks remaining. We are just closing in at this distance. It looks like this game, well, I should say it looks like it's won, but I guess it's not certain at this stage. We spot a full health enemy fun police. It is awkward because I'm a sort of turretless TD. I can't exactly flank this tank. I'm just kind of really hoping he misses. I'm rocking backwards and forwards and just hoping he misses his shot, and thankfully for me he does, which allows me to pick up the kill on the enemy artillery, aka the fun police. As we come around the corner, there is another one of the little devils. He does hit us, but he doesn't manage to take us out. We know we now are going to get the, well, we would have got the kill, but our friendly G-Sword takes him out. There is a one-shot enemy heavy tank here, but we are a potential one-shot to this tank. But he's fired. That's given us an opportunity to get a shot in. Now at this point I'm praying this actually pens, because otherwise we could get taken out. Thankfully it does. We kill the IS-6 black there. We're going to put one into Panther. I can still actually eat another shot off of this tank, which we are forced to, but we then get another shot in. But now, I can't push him, right? I need my team to take the shots until he fires at this stage. But he gets shut down by our friendly M12 artillery. There's only 1 tank remaining with 4% hit points left. I'm on about 4,000 damage, 5 kills. There's still a fair amount of chunk of hit points on this enemy TD left. I could get the top gun if I'm able to pick up the kill. Unfortunately, I can't eat a shot off of this tank, which makes my life a little bit awkward. I need to wait till he either fires or my team move in and try and turn his gun, because otherwise I come over this ridge, I'm going to get taken out. Like I say, I have no armour. You actually do have 8 degrees of gun pressure though, so you can actually sort of play the ridge line. So that is the end of the replay number 1, but I have 2 more to come. So this was kind of like an average-ish game, but we do go on with the final replay. It's definitely worth staying around for. But we get 5 kills, 4,000 damage, 900 assistance, picking up the 1st class and the medal for killing the enemy artillery. But let's move on to replay number 2. Then I'll see you over there in a bit. Okay, so here we are for replay number 2. Now I included this replay not because it was the biggest game I've had, more just because it was Himmelsdorf, and not really a great map for a TD like this. So I thought I'd just include one to show a bit of balance to the video. So as we're going to try and play the sort of 1-2 track area, but I'm just going to try and spot the cross at the start, because remember I do have fantastic concealment and we are top tier in this particular replay, and we managed to spot the enemy artillery crossing. We do get 1 shot into him. We can't quite connect with our 2nd shell, but we pick up a little bit of assistance, and now the friendly team do know where the artillery is. But I think, what, I'm not going to overstay my welcome in that position. I'm going to try and sort of abuse my concealment value and take the 1-2 area. We know where the artillery is. Can we push down this, outspot the targets, and then try and kill the artillery, and maybe try and win this 1-2 area, because we're limited to the positions we can play in this tank on a city map like this. So it kind of looks like our friendly team have actually pushed very aggressively down the 1-2 line. That kind of gives an indication of where a lot of the enemy team are actually going to be playing. And I am going to move in and just try and win this side essentially as quick as we can. because then if I need to turn back and go for our base, because if you notice on what I like to call the banana, the 8 line, it's kind of uncontested, so enemy tanks can push down that road and potentially get to our base and attempt to cap us out. So I'm going to need to clear this side as fast as I possibly can. We know there's a poor enemy tier 6 tank destroyer here. Now, because we've got such good mobility, we can ram targets in this tank. We do ram him, maybe unnecessary, but I guess we do turn his gun by doing so, and we pick up our first kill of the game, and we do kill that enemy D-Max pretty quickly indeed. But the enemy team now have put cap pressure on. Now, at the moment, where there's only one tank in the cap, it's okay. But now the enemy team have put a secondary tank in the cap. I need to get back for the resets, because although there is a TD at sort of H3, our friendly TD, I have no idea, you know, how many hit points he's on. Is he going to push and get that reset? And I really need to get over there. There's now 3 tanks on the cap, and we've got, what, 11 seconds left? I'm just praying at this point I can get round this corner and snap a shot in to hit this reset. Thankfully our tank does connect one and gets a reset here. I need to reset this Tiger, which we do. Now we don't really have to worry about the cap circle. I kind of forgot this is a Czech Tiger, so it's got the little auto shooter, pea shooter gun. But I've opted just to eat the shells and just try and take him out and take the damage at this point and just kill him as quickly as we can, because you notice there was an enemy turretless TD pushed around the right. Now I'm hoping he's not focusing us and we can turn around and get the rear. I mean, we don't have to, you know, we're not going to eat any damage now because we've got that fantastic reload. If he starts to turn, all I'm going to do is put a shot through his drive wheel, just like that, and now he's tracked in position. If he uses repair kit, I could track him again, because you have that fantastic rate of fire. And it's one thing this tank can be good at, you know, is tracking those targets in position. The enemy Iron Rain is on reload, so we know we're going to be able to kill him before he finishes reloading here. And yeah, he does get shut down. We've put on, what, about 2,800 damage, 2 kills, 600 assistance, 4 enemy tanks remaining. We know there was 2 targets in the sort of 5-6 area, and I think the last tank is on the hill. So we're going to try and see if we can kill these targets down to 5-6, try and pick up a bit more damage, or you know, in this case we did pick up a bit of assistance here, which is nice. And now it's just this one little target down here which we can eat a shot off. And yeah, I will eat it if I need to, just because this game's basically won. I just want to get as much out of this game as we can. As you can see, Himmelsdorf, not the best map for this tank, but we've done okay in it. You know, obviously it helps that we were top tier. We do pick up the 3rd kill there, and there's 1 target remaining on the hill. Now it's 7% hit points, which means he is full health. It is a T32 Proto, so it is a 3-shot auto loader, which is important to note, because if you notice he just fired this clip, I can just move in and, you know, just sit in front of him or count the shells. You know, if he fires 2, he's not going to be able to take me out, you know, because he can't kill me with 1 shell. So that's just something to remember. Because I've got such great DPM, I can kill him before he actually reloads if he has dumped this clip, and you count that information. So we're moving in, and I'm kind of hoping that he's going to be distracted by the 3 tanks in front of him, and that I may just be able to come behind and try and get some damage. Because of this game we're going to win. I don't even think I'll get back for the reset at this point. Now, he's just fired 1 shell, you know, he's just shot the Iron Rain, so I know he's fired at least 1. I put 1 shot into him. At this point he's turned, I'm thinking I'm probably going to die here, but I'm just going to hold him for as long as I could, just to make sure he can't get the reset. But he misses a shot. Now I know he can't kill me. Now I know he's fully reloaded. You see, this is the important thing about counting the shells, because I can't lose in this engagement now because he's on reload. He gets shut down by our friendly heavy tank, and that brings us then to replay number 2, where we finish off with 4,000 or just shy of 4,000 damage, you know, on a map which is not particularly well suited to this tank. But we've got one final replay to come where, you know, it's the big one. We saved the best one for last, where it's a map which is more suited to the vehicle, and we go on top of a fantastic game. So let's go on to the final replay of the video. Okay, so here we are for the final replay on Thiepval Ridge, where we are top tier again, and there's 1 enemy fun police in the game. But importantly to note, there is no enemy light tanks. That's always useful information, you know, which you can take at the start of the game, because you know I'm a stealthy, fast tank destroyer, and with no enemy light tanks, we might even be able to try and spot for our team. So I am going to play, pretty aggressively at the start and try and take the hill, just knowing because it's not really a lot of the enemy tanks on the enemy team that are much quicker than me. So I am going to be able to probably get the hill before they do and try and spot them, get a bit of information to find out what's coming. One of our friendly tanks is already dead. I think he's unfortunately fallen off a cliff somewhere. It happens, it does. And I do have a few tanks behind us which can hopefully give us some assistance if we spot this hill. So we're going to move in. Now we've got to bear in mind, like I say, we are quite quick. We've probably got here before some of the enemy tanks have reached here. So I haven't spotted anything yet, and I'm kind of, I guess, playing a little bit risky, pushing forward, but also kind of want to make the use of the information and try and catch tanks off guard if we spot them in the open. And we do spot, well, the best target, right? The enemy fun police. Now he is caught in the open, and of course we are going to try and take this tank out. You can see, we've got fantastic concealment. We're not getting spotted, and because of our great DPM, in situations like this, there's no escape. And we kill the enemy artillery for our team in the first sort of couple of minutes. So that's good news for our team because they don't have to worry about the enemy artillery. We then spot the enemy Japanese heavy tank in the open, and we're going to try and farm this tank. He does get behind the house, which means I can't damage him at the moment, but we have got him a little bit trapped there. It kind of looks like he's going to make his advance to push us. Now, we are going to swap to the heat shells because I've got a limited time to kill this tank. Once he gets too close, he's obviously going to spot me. One thing you have to be careful of is the fact that because you fire so quickly, when you're shooting from the same position like this, it's not rocket science to work out where you're getting shot from, and you can try and just blind fire the bush. So you do need to kind of be alert of that. But we are able to kill the enemy heavy tank, picking up our second kill of the game, put us on to 2,000 damage, and we have got to a decent start here. There's two enemy heavy tanks down to 9-0. I'm not really spotting anything at their base at the moment at this sort of F9 area. So I'm going to try and, I was going to go and try and kill those heavy tanks. But then we do spot an enemy TD. I don't know if he's AFK here. No, it looks like he isn't. But he's caught in the open, and, we do have really, really good concealment. So we're not getting spotted here. And we're just going to try and, well, hopefully kill him before he gets into a range where he can spot us. He opts to blind fire us, but we do finish him off, and we do pick up our third kill of the game. Putting us under 3,000 damage. There's still 10 enemy tanks remaining, so this game, it isn't won, but it's still looking pretty good for us, right? And we've got all of our hit points. We've had a really great start to this game. Looks like there's quite a few enemy tanks down the 1, 2, 3 line battling. And our friendly 2 tanks down this line, it looks like they're failing to kill these 2 heavy tanks. So I think they need my assistance here. I'm going to try and provide that and just try and get some shots in while they're distracted. Like I say, at this point, I still haven't eaten any damage. So if I eat one trying to kill this French heavy tank, not the end of the world. You can see how quickly we managed to take him out there. When you get the right situations, this tank can be crazy. So we picked up 4 kills, 4,000 damage. Now what I need to happen is my friendly heavy tanks, who are now in there's 3 tanks advantage here. If they just push in onto this IS, I will come in and kill him as quickly as I can. I just need him to push in like this, and then we can try and take him out. So that's what's happened. Our friendly heavy tank has pushed in. He is on a one-shot though, so I need to try and help him. Unfortunately, I'm slipping all over the terrain, and now an enemy T-29's come to help out. I'm going to just try and kill this IS as fast as I possibly can. He's on a one-shot. It gets shut down by our friendly 50 TP, and now we need to push this T-29. There's nothing covering this enemy T-29. Now, I've got a full health Polish heavy with me to the left. Again, if he just pushes in, I will kill this T-29 in probably about 15 seconds. So I need him just to push in at this stage, take the hit. I don't really want to take the hit. I've got no armour. But I'm just going to go in and try and kill this tank quickly because we're losing the other side now. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to eat the shot at this point. We do eat the shot. He shouldn't really get another one in before we're able to finish him off. And we pick up our 5th kill with 5,000 damage and 4 tanks remaining. But the enemy team do still have quite a bit of hit points remaining. So I really want to get over there and try and get some of that damage. And at this point, I'm just praying, please don't cap out. We've done all the hard work here, guys. We don't need to sit in the cap circle. We can just go and get the remaining of the damage. But it looks like what I didn't realise is there was a full health Earthshaker. So, or should I say was full health Earthshaker. We're going to go in and try and get some damage because I think we're on, what, 5 kills. We can actually get the Top Gun medal for killing this tank here. He's got all of his hit points removed. We are able to finish him off. I think he must have been AFK. That's why he never got spotted. And we do pick up our 6th kill of the game, putting us over 5,000 damage. Now we've got a real opportunity for a Devastator medal. We do have 1 tank, now 2 tanks in a cap circle. So I guess I'm kind of praying that they get out, because if they don't get out in 45 seconds, this game is over. Now we're not going to lose this game, we're going to win this game. It's 7 versus 2. I've got enough hit points to eat a few shots, and I just want us to not cap out so I can get, you know, some more damage out of this game. You know, I did have a crucial part in us winning it. It'd be nice to get out of the cap circle. Thankfully, one of our friendly tanks has obliged. He's got out of the cap circle, which is good news for us because there is only 1 tank remaining. It would be a shame not to kill him considering there's 7% hit points remaining. So I'm going to move in and try and get some damage off of this tank. With the cap pressure, it means that I have just got to move in. You know, even if his tank kills me, I haven't got time. I just want to get more shots in because we're not going to lose this game now. So it doesn't matter if I die. I might as well just get the damage. So we get some more shots in here. Unfortunately, I do bounce the ricochet the lower plate there. Bit unfortunate. That's going to make it touch and go whether I win this battle now. But he has got onto a potential 1-shot. No, he's definite 1-shot now. Will I get the kill in? Will I get the 7th kill? And thankfully I do because of the crazy reload of this tank, as I say. And we finished that game off really strongly. Thank you for our friendly teammate who got out the cap circle, because we finished that one off with 7 kills. 6,400 damage, 200 assistance, you know, and we obviously get the ace tanker here, and yeah, really good game in the tank. So thank you so much for your amazing support, and as always, happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!